Let's get one thing straight. I'm not concerned about Apex's big, scary email from May 20th. In fact, congratulations, Apex. Because for once, you actually did something kind of right. No, you still haven't hired a PR team or brought in a crisis manager, but hey, baby steps. At least this time, you gave your affiliates a heads up before decimating your entire customer base. And in Apex land? That counts as progress. Now, the email sounds intense. Like, we've identified the scammers, we've got new rules, it's game over. But plot twist, those rules already existed. Let's hop in our Wayback Machine to May 2024. Yes, that magical time when John Skelton dropped 4 hours of video content just to say people are DCAing their million-dollar accounts into oblivion. But here's the kicker. Those videos, poof, gone. Vanished like accountability in a Discord server.
Then came October 2024, aka Apex 3.0, another heroic attempt to clean house. John even popped onto YouTube channels to say, "My bad, guys, we'll do better this time." And what was the big promise? A brand new dashboard, real-time alerts. Traders would finally be able to spot their mistakes before those payout denials came crashing in like a hangover after a tequila bender. And did it work? Hell no, because it never launched. And I spoke up multiple times. But between all the video requests from traders trying to prove they were the real ones behind the trades, and Apex's legal circus with Leo Riot, it all got swept under the rug faster than a guaranteed funding ad after you blow your avowal. So now it's May 2025, and Apex sends out this heartfelt, "We're cracking down again" email. And folks, this isn't a bold new strategy. This is a confession that May didn't work, October didn't work, and now we're doing it all over again like it's Groundhog Day, Trader Edition.
Meanwhile, Apex is still the biggest firm. They allow the most accounts. Which means when people exploit their system, it's not just bad, it's financially catastrophic. And while everyone's focusing on these new rules, let's be real. Besides a weird, vague reference to SROs, which don't exist, by the way, this email is just Apex admitting they still haven't figured it out. So no, I'm not panicking over the email. But I am worried about Apex, because at some point, if your fix keeps failing, maybe the problem isn't the bad actors. Maybe it's the CEO.
Oh, and while we're here, let's talk about the big gotcha in this email, the infamous 8-day payout exploit. I remember watching Alpine the day that rule dropped. He clocked the loophole immediately. There was a whole back and forth in the chat where he literally said, "They'll have to fix this. It has to be a mistake. They have to know people are going to abuse it." So yeah, once again, use your affiliates better. We know trading. We want you to succeed. And more importantly, we can keep you from tripping over your own dick in public. Guys, seriously, reach out. Call Patrick. Call Nutty. Call Alpine. Hell, call Kellyanne. Or maybe not.
So here's the tea. Apex, the one everyone's using to chase their funded trader dreams, just dropped a massive email. And spoiler alert, it basically says, "Dear degenerates, we see you, and we're coming for you." Apparently, Apex is losing millions, with an M every month because some traders are treating evaluations like a slot machine. You know the type. The ones using bots, signal services, or trading 20 accounts at once until one finally hits a payout. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping $2,000 sticks. And hey, I get it. It sounds tempting. You're scrolling through Facebook, minding your business, when bam, some shady ad pops up. Pass your prop firm in 3 days with our 100% win rate strategy. It's got 200 likes, 0 comments, and probably written by a guy named Crypto Steve 69. Seems legit, right?
But Apex, yeah, they're not laughing. They're bleeding money, and they've had it. So now, they're rolling out a full crackdown. And I mean full-on CIA surveillance mode. They're mining years of trading data, watching your every move, and building a system that can literally detect if you click the buy button like a maniac during NFP. They're even tracking back-end clicks. Back-end clicks. You're not just being watched, you're being studied. But wait, it gets juicier. There's this idea floating around, thanks Michael Patak from Top Step, of creating an SRO, or self-regulatory organization, where all the prop firms team up to sniff out the scammers together. Like the Avengers, but instead of saving the world, they're just canceling your payout. And Apex said, nah, we're good. See, they support real regulation, the kind that comes with actual rules and lawsuits and orange jumpsuits. But what they don't support is giving your personal data to a bunch of private companies in a glorified group chat. Because what could possibly go wrong with a bunch of prop firms passing around your login history like a casserole dish at Thanksgiving? They're worried about privacy, and for good reason. Imagine getting denied a payout the same day you learn there was a data leak. That's not trading, that's trauma.
So instead, Apex is beefing up their own tools. No cross-firm tattletales, no SRO. Just in-house surveillance strong enough to catch you hedging 2 accounts or copy trading your way to infamy. They listed every single thing they're watching for. And let me tell you, it reads like the FBI's no-fly list for traders. Hedging between accounts? Trading through the weekend? Bots? Signal services? Yeah, you're on their radar. You're not even a blip. You're a blinking red siren with a siren emoji. But here's the wildest part. People are gaming the 8-day payout rule by going all in, blowing 5 accounts, hitting 1 jackpot, and cashing out like they're at an ATM in the VIP room. Apex knows it. Apex sees it. And Apex is done with it. So now if you try to pull that off, guess what? You're getting probation. Your contracts get slashed. You can only withdraw profits made after your last request. And those fat, juicy windfall gains? Wiped. Gone. Ghosted harder than your hinge match after they saw your P&L. And Apex isn't backing down. They straight up said, we will not join the SRO, we will not share your data, and we will absolutely bust you if you're out here gambling like it's DraftKings.
So here's the moral of the story, folks. If you're out here scheming, just know the hammer's coming. And this time, it's not a rule tweak. It's a full-blown reckoning. But if you're actually trading, using strategies, planning entries, managing risk like a functioning adult, then breathe easy. This crackdown, it's not for you. It's for the guys selling pass your eval PDFs from their mom's basement. So shout out to Apex for finally saying enough is enough. And if you're one of the good ones, keep your stops tight, your entries clean, and maybe, just maybe, don't hedge 6 accounts at once using a bot named Snipe God. You're welcome, fam. Now smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell your trading buddies to stop being weird. We'll see you next time.
Okay, so Thrive Trading Group launched to a lukewarm response. And at this point, I think we can all agree with JMU. Even if we like the guys in the C-suite, Thrive ain't thriving. You know how some startups come out swinging with bold claims, clean logos, and the promise of being by traders for traders? Yeah, Thrive did all of that. But unfortunately, FinTwit wasn't buying it. Let's rewind. So Thrive launches, it looks promising, fast funding, familiar faces, and oh hey, the CEO is Joom. You know Joom, YouTube trader. Nice guy. The kind of dude who'll vlog from Texas Roadhouse in the Philippines.
But here's the twist. Joom used to work at Fast Track Trading. You remember them, right? That firm that rug pulled harder than a magician yanking a tablecloth off a fully set table. Yeah. Joom was officially a customer service rep in their Discord. He wasn't making big executive decisions, but he was answering your tickets while the ship was quietly sinking. Now, to his credit, he distanced himself before the collapse. Publicly. Like he broke up with Fast Track on YouTube for the world to see. But still, the moment people clocked his name on Thrive's team, the FinTwit bloodhounds came running. And then, it got worse.
Thrive's first payout? A cool $12,500. Straight to Sage Trades. Who's Sage, you ask? Oh, just the chief operating officer of Fast Track Trading. You know, the firm that went out of business faster than a gourmet grilled cheese food truck. And yes, Sage did leave before Fast Track imploded. But in FinTwit land, that guy's still carrying tons of baggage. A lot of traders feel like he was involved in some shady stuff at FTT and MFFU. So no, people weren't exactly lining up to give him a pat on the back for his payout with Thrive. Quite the opposite, actually. FinTwit connected the dots faster than Scott shut down the Fast Track Discord. Anyone else remember that day? Total blackout. 1 minute you're chatting about drawdown limits, the next, poof, gone.
And just when you thought this couldn't scream offshore shell company any louder, Nutty Bar, FinTwit's unofficial man of reason, posts with a Bahamas address. No, not sus at all. Now listen, registering a company in the Bahamas already screams Shell Corp. But if you're a brand new prop firm linked to a failed prop firm that just paid one of its former execs and still hasn't explained any of it, yeah, I think we just figured out why Thrive ain't thriving. And right in the middle of this absolute FinTwit firestorm, Kellyanne, sweet, reasonable, spreadsheet-loving Kellyanne, steps in with one small piece of advice. Maybe just try one account. See if it pays out. Don't go all in yet. And FinTwit brought out the flamethrowers. OMG, she's defending Thrive. She's one of them. Okay, deep breath, tinfoil traders. She didn't say dump your savings into this firm. She said, proceed with caution. You know, like a grown-up. That's not an endorsement. That's just common sense.
Now, here's the part most of the drama magnets conveniently skipped. Kellyanne partners with a ton of firms. Not because she's sipping the Kool-Aid, but because it lets her actually help traders. Like, get your tickets fixed, your rules clarified, your payouts unstuck. Which, last I checked, is what people say they want. And if a prop firm goes rogue, she scam lists them faster than you can say instant funding. But when it comes to Thrive, no payout denials, no tech issues. Not even a passive-aggressive customer service complaint. So yeah, Until she sees actual proof, she's not burning the place down. Oh, and by the way, yes, she knows Joom. No, that doesn't mean she's giving Thrive a free pass. She literally slapped them with a use caution label on her prop firm table. Same as any other unproven launch. That's not bias. That's called consistency.
But even with Kellyanne's measured endorsement, Thrive still has a serious image problem. Here's what they've got. A former FTT rep who lives in the Philippines as their CEO, a former FTT COO as their first payout, a Bahamas address, and a growing list of influencers saying, yeah, I'm out. So to recap, Thrive promised transparency, opportunity, and a new model for trader-led prop firms. Instead, we got Ghost of FTT Past, Payouts to Pals, and the world's most suspicious island P.O. box. Until they explain themselves, fix their PR, and pay some actual strangers, let's just say, Thrive ain't gonna thrive.
Let's talk about the feud lighting up FinTwit like a Powell speech on Triple Espresso. It's Rips versus Dodgy, the feud we didn't ask for, but now can't look away from. So here's what happened. Rips took a page straight out of the Patrick Whelan playbook and kicked off the week by naming names. No vague tweets, no blind subtweets, just an open call-out. Dodgy, show us the receipts. Which is bold considering most influencer drama stays buried under passive aggression and meme replies. But Rips went full frontal. Because nothing builds trust like transparency. And nothing builds clicks like conflict.
Let's talk about Rips. He's loud, he's relentless, he's all in on broker statements. On the other side, Dodgy, trader, educator, and Discord runner. He's armed with jokes, sarcasm, and a screenshot redacted harder than a government UFO file. Meanwhile, the community is split. Some backing Rips for demanding transparency, others defending Dodgy for doing things on his own terms. Rips is yelling, just post the statement. Dodgy is offering Rips $200 to watch him trade. It's like saying, don't look at my resume, just vibe with me in real time and trust the journey. Dude, this is not a startup pitch, it's trading.
But while Rips and Dodgy traded punches in public, another conversation was happening across the timeline. Brian Stonk posed a question. What should a trading influencer be expected to share? Proven track record? Total earnings? Nothing at all? And that's when Nutty Bar chimed in. Not into the feud, but into the discussion. And his take? Absolutely grounded. If you're not selling anything, you don't owe anyone anything. But if you're charging for a service, Discord, course, mentorship, then yeah, a proven track record should be required. Calm, direct, not tied to the beef. But somehow, it cut through all of it.
Rips is loud, but he's not wrong. Dodgy is funny, but not convincing. Nutty is rational and actually helpful. And the rest of us? We're watching, popcorn in hand, ready for the moment someone hits that block button. The truth is, the drama, entertaining, the stakes, low, the lessons, real. If you're selling dreams, don't be shocked when people ask for receipts. If someone says, trust me, but won't show their trades, maybe the only thing they're trading is your attention, for rent money. And sometimes the quietest voices are the ones worth listening to.
And speaking of blocking, the feuds continue. Remember when trading was about numbers, charts, and maybe a little caffeine-fueled self-loathing? Yeah, neither do we. And we're not complaining. If trading stayed professional, we'd be doing weather reports by now. Let's talk about Patrick Whelan, a man who wakes up every day and chooses combat. He took a relaxing vacation to Iceland and used that time to absolutely torch Dakota, Top Step's special boy. So here's how it started. Patrick fired off a tweet asking the one question Dakota never seems eager to answer. How much have you actually made in a live account?
A fair question, especially when you look at Top Step's leaderboard movement over the last few months. Patrick points out that back in February, Dakota was sitting pretty with $323,000 on the Top Step leaderboard. Fast forward to mid-May, that number dropped to $272,000. That's not a leaderboard, it's a time lapse of disappointment. Patrick, always the watchdog, never the whisperer, jumps in from his Icelandic tundra retreat and says, this is the guy that preaches live account consistency? This is the biggest fraud in the industry. Now, how did Dakota respond? With grace? With receipts? With a public breakdown of his trades?
Nope. He blocked Patrick. And posted it. With a motivational quote, no less. No time for toxic people. You are the sum of who you surround yourself with. That's not setting a boundary. That's staging a scene and inviting an audience. Patrick's response? Let's just say it was not filtered through a PR team. He mocked Dakota's live trades, called him a fraud, a child, and threw in some language that would make even Andrew Tate say, wow, bro, chill.
And just when you think Patrick might cool off and go enjoy a glacier or something, he hits us with another tweet. calling Top Step TV a circus run by failed traders, accusing Dakota of fumbling multiple shorts, and labeling the whole thing downright embarrassing. Because nothing says premium trading education like watching a guy repeatedly short the open and then jump into a combine like he's starting over in Call of Duty Top Step Warfare.
Between the callouts and the carnage, you'd think no one was safe. But even Patrick has his moments of surprising diplomacy. In a twist no one had on their bingo card, Patrick hit pause on the drama long enough to respond nicely to ICT, formerly his favorite punching bag, who reached out at the end of PW's Icelandic escape. I entertained them in your absence. Get home safely and carry the rest of the week.
It was kind, respectful, almost sweet, and Patrick replied like the two of them were old friends at a high school reunion. Thanks for taking care of the flock while Daddy's gone. First they were rivals. Now they're co-managing the chaos. Where else can Daddy's home be both a threat and a sign of unity? That's the feud news. We'll keep you updated, unless one of them blocks us too.
So Nutty Bar just dropped his list of the top 10 Apex traders for April, and we need to talk about it. Because the payouts were wild, the numbers were massive, and somewhere out there an Apex accountant is probably lying down in a dark room with an ice pack. Let's start at number 10, Ruby Lee. Back again, because that's just what Ruby Lee does. At this point, Apex should send her a plaque. She locked in $109,000 like it was just another Tuesday. Some traders dip in and out of greatness. Ruby Lee renews it monthly. Coming in at number 9, we've got Alan from Florida with $110,000. I don't know what they're putting in the water down there. Gator juice? Pure liquidity? But Alan is riding the sunshine wave all the way to the bank.
At number 8, Karen from California with $112,500. And before you roll your eyes, no, not that kind of Karen. This Karen doesn't want to speak to the manager. She is the manager of market structure, of casually bagging 6 figures between stacking limit orders and managing risk like a boss. 7th is Sywin from the UK with $113,000. Proof that British dominance isn't just reserved for history books and royal pageantry. Sometimes it's quiet, calculated trades that still manage to conquer the leaderboard.
6th is another Alan, this time from Texas. And yes, we've got a multiverse of Allens happening here. Texas Alan raked in $113,045, slightly more than the UK's Sywin, which feels like a passive-aggressive win in the global trading feud no one knew existed. 5th place goes to Mark from France with $136,000, a performance so smooth it probably had its own wine pairing. While the rest of us were over-trading into oblivion, Mark was out here treating the market like a fine Bordeaux, patient, precise, and absolutely not for chugging.
4th is Connor from Virginia with $165,000, proving that Old Dominions can still produce new money. And for the 2nd month in a row, he's locked down 4th place like it's reserved seating. And now bronze medal time. An anonymous trader from Wheaton, Illinois, a mystery hero who made $199,500. That's not trading. That's printing money in a cornfield. We salute you, Wheaton Wizard. 2nd is John from California with $219,000. Enough money to open a kombucha bar, start a surf and trade mentorship program, and still have change left for custom incense labeled Bullish Energy.
And at number 1, Kyle from Florida, better known as Jade Cap, with a $2.61 million payout. Jade Cap's been stacking these payouts like infinity stones over the last few months. This wasn't a quick win. It was a 7-course financial feast, slow-cooked, over months of precision, and April was just when it hit the table. I know what you're thinking. What about Manbeer? According to Nutty, Manbeer actually requested his $2.4 million payout back in March. So even though it wasn't approved until April, it still counts toward March's totals. That's why he's not on the April leaderboard. But come on, $2.4 million? We're not letting that one slide by. We just wanted to make sure he got the recognition he deserves, because a payout like that deserves a spotlight, no matter which month it landed in. So here's the entire list of the top 10 payouts of 2025. Number 10, John, California, USA, $359,019. Number 9, Alejandro, California, USA, $414,475. Number 8, Mohammed, MYSL, Malaysia, $492,893. Number 7, Vincent, New York, USA, $570,741. Number 6, Ruby Lee, PHPPMP, Philippines, $579,000. Number 5, Anonymous, Rockwall, Texas, USA, $712,517. Number 4, Jose, COBDC, Colombia, $1,388,087. Number 3, John, New York, USA, $1,668,255. Number 2, Manbeer, California, USA, $2,684,824. Number 1, Kyle, Florida, USA, $2,847,889.
These traders turned simulated capital into real checks. Apex wrote the checks. Nutty Bar read the names. And the rest of us are sitting here wondering if we need to move to Florida or just legally change our names to Alan. Big thanks to Nutty Bar for the breakdown of April's top Apex traders. Watch his full video to see all the payouts for the month, and don't forget to show him some love. So congrats to the traders who made the list. And to the rest, don't get discouraged. This game rewards the ones who stay focused and keep showing up. April proved the big payouts aren't just possible, they're happening. If you're ready to take your shot, use code FFF when you sign up at Apex. Stack the wins, claim the payout, and we'll see you on the leaderboard. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to check out another great video or explore our full playlist for more. Watch time means the world to us, so please share this with your trading buddies. And if you don't have any, just watch it again yourself. Remember, trading is tough enough. We all deserve more laughs. Thanks again, and see you next week.